Good afternoon and welcome to Facebook Live with the CEO. I am Ronaldo Hardy, President and CEO here at Southwest Louisiana Credit Union, and I'm so excited to hang out with you on this Monday afternoon. It doesn't have to be a blue Monday today. It can be a green Monday if that's what you want it to be. But thank you so much for tuning in today. Of course, as we say all the time, it is our goal here at Southwest Louisiana Credit Union to encourage top-down transparency. So I want to make sure that you always know that you can come to me with your questions and or concerns as they develop. But today we want to help you out. I know that school is about to let back in, and parents, I know how excited you must be that your kids are going to be back in school. No more having a child asking you for a snack every 20 minutes or maybe paying the expensive fees that come along with summer camp. You can send them back to school and allow the teachers to have all the fun that they desire with them. But I know how stressful it can be, especially if you have several kids, to shop for school supplies. You know, something as simple as school supplies, which are a necessity each and every year, can be stressful if we had not already planned for it. And let's be honest, you know, sometimes we just don't do the best job planning. Like, we literally know certain things are going to come every single year and we still don't get ready for them. Whether it's back to school, or Christmas shopping, or vacation, doesn't it seem like it just always creeps up on you? And to our defense as adults, that's kind of how life goes. You know, when you're young, everything takes so long to get here. I can barely remember what January was like because it feels like it's happened so quickly. But we want to give you a few tips that will help you out this year as you are planning for back to school. Here's some ways that you can have a little bit more money in your pocket to be able to handle those expenses. Number one, you can always skip a payment with us. We have our skip a payment program set up where you can, if you qualify, skip loan payments in this month or next month whenever you come in to see us, so that you can have that extra money to put towards your school supply expenses. Can you imagine the relief that you get by being able to skip a payment for a month? I promise you it could give you a few extra dollars so that you don't have the stress of finding that money elsewhere. Something else you could do, and I know this isn't the most exciting, I really don't know if I like summer cleaning. You know, we all do spring cleaning, but sometimes if you do a closet sweep and look around your house, there are supplies that maybe you accumulated throughout the year that you can pull from to make sure that you have what you need for your kids. Sometimes we're in a hurry to go out and buy new things and we don't really check what we already have at home. I do that all the time with groceries. You know, I always go to the store, think about what I want in the moment, and I'm so scared that I'm going to get home and not have it, so I purchase it again, and then I'm frustrated that I have 3 jars of salsa at my house when I could have just finished the one that I already had. So do a closet sweep, see what you have. If you have some supplies that are unused, try using those, and then purchase the things that you don't have. The third thing that you want to do is make sure you have a spending plan so that when you are going out to do this shopping, you have a budget in place, you know what you're going to spend your money on, and you adhere to it. But also, as you're developing your spending plan, make sure that you're also cutting down on some of your expenses in other areas so that you have the finances necessary to take care of your school supply needs for your children. Also, another thing that you can do, and I talked about this a little bit earlier, is put aside money as early as possible. Start saving. We have all different types of savings options for you that you can plan better throughout the year. So if you think about what you're going to need this time every year, whether that's $500, $600, $200, $300, man, with the price of school supplies and uniforms and shoes and all of that, it could be more than that. But if you think about how much money you're going to need every year, you can start saving ahead of time so that when this time of the year comes around, you already have the money that you need. So let's talk about how we do that early off. Come in, sit with us, let us establish that savings account for you. Set up payroll deduction so that you don't even see it, out of sight, out of mind. And when the summer comes and it's time for or the end of the summer comes and it's time for your kids to go back to school, the money will be there. And parents, this is really a good time for you to also work with your kids on money management. As we're navigating through these different experiences and moments in life, I think that it's a good idea to bring our kids into the experience. Show them what it's costing you to pay for these supplies. I'm sure their eyes are going to get really big thinking about the difference between $5 and $500. But show them how much it costs. Take them shopping with you. Let them see what it's costing you and how you are planning for it so that you help them to understand how to prepare in the future. We want our kids to be successful financially when they get older, and it is our responsibility as parents to do our part in making sure that they are as successful as possible. So always use these moments as an opportunity to educate your kids. Once again, we want you to be as successful as possible. School is letting back in. Parents, you can let your hair down. You can shout. You can cheer because you are celebrating, and this is your time to win against the teachers. You know, they celebrated a couple of months ago when they sent them back home to you, but it's your turn to celebrate until that homework comes home and you realize that you don't really understand the commonness of Common Core. And with that said, I do want to open the floor up for any of your questions, comments, or things that you may have for me.
All right, we've got some questions submitted early. What is the Mudbug Club, and how can people sign their kids up for it?
So the Mudbug Club is an account that we do have for our kids, and it would be a good idea for those parents who are interested in teaching your children how to save appropriately and making sure they develop good and positive habits to open this account up for them. It's as easy as coming in to speak with one of us, or you can go on our website to get the process started. But we certainly want to be engaged in helping you to make sure that you give your kids the financial tools that they need for the future. And saving that money today can mean a whole lot for you in the future when it's time to make those really big purchases, such as paying for your child's education and also maybe even buying their first car that we pray that they don't wreck. So.
Another question, what are some other ways to teach children about finances? You mentioned earlier about bringing them to the store, showing them how you purchase, and what are some other ways that you can teach them?
Well, I think that, we can start with giving them a small allowance, and so that allowance can look however large or small as you can really maintain. If it's only $2 a week, start there, but start giving them money and then helping them to understand how to properly use that money. I actually talked to a group of kids recently, and we talked about how the combination of saving, spending, and giving, so how we try to give and have some social responsibility, how we save so we make sure we have what we need, and then how we spend according to a well thought out budget. And so I'm working on this with my kids now, because I know how it was when I was a child. I would get $5, and I promise you the first store that I went into got all of my money. And it took me a while to outgrow that bad habit. And so thinking back, I believe that had I been exposed to a certain form of budgeting or financial responsibility earlier, it would have certainly helped me out. So give your kids, give them $1, $2, $5, $10 a week. Teach them how to handle that money, and then find ways to reward them when they do well. If they manage their money appropriately, maybe you throw in an extra $1 the next week, or maybe you plan an outing where they get to do their favorite thing for showing their financial responsibility. But do some things to have positive reinforcement, utilizing those tools I mentioned to you so that you can start testing their money management ability early.
If someone has a vacation club savings account, can they use that money for school supplies?
Absolutely. So you are welcome to use those funds if you would like to. Obviously, if you have a need for it, we're not going to restrict you from getting those funds if you need to. Obviously, if you what we would advocate is that you do set up an account to save for school, just like you set up an account to save for vacation. Because vacations are a good thing, and so I'd like to see you be able to take that vacation you desire, but certainly if you need those funds for school, you can do so.
What are some ways to not get overwhelmed when buying school supplies and not be completely feeling like you're drowning in all these costs?
You know, I think that you can utilize us as a resource. So we're here to help you out. We have several financial counselors on our staff who can sit down with you and help you to plan your money better, because most of the times we get overwhelmed because we haven't really planned through our finances, and a lot of times we haven't planned through our finances and developed the budget that we need to develop because we're so afraid of what we're going to see when we look at what's really happening with our money. So let us take that look with you. Let us sit down with you and review what's happening with your finances, help you to develop an appropriate plan, and then also just make sure that you have that focus ongoing throughout the year. Once a plan is in place, do follow it so that it can help you to have the peace of mind. And I think that's the beauty of a budget. We a lot of times we get overwhelmed about establishing a budget, but the beauty of a budget is that once it's in place, it really helps us to develop the peace of mind knowing where our money is going. So if you need some help with that, come in, talk to us. We are here to help you.
I think that's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
No more questions? Well, thank you so much for tuning in live with us today. It is always our pleasure to be a financial resource for you. Any question that you have, we want to be plugged into helping you to manage your money better. So thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to hanging out with you again next month.